Hello and welcome. Today I will be guiding you through a Ashtanga yoga practice. And we're going to begin by finding a comfortable seat on your mat. You can cross your legs however is comfortable to you. If you want to put a block or blanket under your bottom to bring your hips up and kind of give them that internal tilt, feel free. And just close your eyes, keeping your spine straight and long, your chin slightly tucked in to keep your neck and spine in one long line. And just notice your breath. Feel where your breath fills your body, how it feels coming in through your nose. Maybe your belly expands as you inhale and contracts as you exhale. Then bring your hands in prayer to your chest. And we're going to start the class by chanting 3 ohms. So take a deep inhale. Om. You may open your eyes. Namaste. You're going to take a deep inhale, raising your arms up overhead, making some space between your ears and your arms. On the exhale, twist to your right, keeping your spine long, your left hand on your right knee, your right hand behind you, facing towards the back. Inhaling your arms back up to the center and exhaling it to the other side. Trying to twist from your belly, keeping the chest open. Inhaling your arms back up overhead, dropping your right arm to the ground, leaning towards the right. You can walk that right hand out, and your left arm should be up overhead. You're gazing into your armpit, trying to keep the spine long, and inhaling back up to center, exhaling towards the other side. You want to make sure that there's some space in your left side and you're not completely compacting it into your hip. You want to keep both of your hip bones on the ground. Inhaling back up and exhale. We're going to come to stand at the front of our mat and begin with Surya Namaskar A, our sun salutations. Begin by inhaling your arms up overhead. On the exhale, you're going to fold from the hips forward into Uttanasana. Inhale, spine long, back flat. Exhaling down, you're going to walk your feet to the back of your mat into plank pose. Exhaling, arms in towards your body, coming down chaturanga. Inhale, coming up to Urdhva Mukha Savasana, upward dog. Keeping your chest proud, legs engaged. Exhaling back into downward dog, Ardha Mukha Savasana. Holding here for 5 breaths, lifting your hips as high as they can go, suctioning your hands to the ground, using all four corners. Fingers should be spread, trying to reach your heels to the ground. You can bend your knees, kind of shake out your legs. Using your Ujjayi breath, you should feel a vibration in your vocal cords on your exhale, inhaling through your nose. When you inhale, you're going to gaze towards the front of your mat, bend your knees, and slowly walk your feet towards your hands. Inhaling your spine long, exhaling to fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, coming back up to stand, arms overhead, and exhaling your hands to heart center. Going for our next round, you're going to inhale your hands back overhead, exhale to fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, spine long, exhale, stepping back to plank and coming down, chaturanga. Inhale, coming up dog, exhale, downward dog. 5 breaths here. Your legs are engaged. Your feet should be hip width apart, reaching your heels towards the ground. Your wrists should be in line with your shoulders, fingers spread, reaching your hips up. Inhale, gaze to the front of your mat, walk your feet to your hands. Exhale to fold, inhale, coming back up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And repeat. Hands come up. Exhale to fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, spine long. Exhale, jumping back to plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, down dog. Another 5 breaths here. Feeling your belly move with your breath. Trying to reach your head to the ground. Gazing towards the front of your mat, you're going to hop your feet towards your hands. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms come back up. Exhale, hands to center. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, folding from the hips. Inhale, spine long. Exhale, jumping back, chaturanga, dandasana. Inhale, urdhva mukha savasana. Exhale, ardha mukha savasana. 5 breaths. Gazing towards the front of your mat, hopping your feet towards your hands. Inhale, spine long. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming up. Exhale to center. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, folding at the hips, Uttanasana. Inhale, spine long. Exhale, jumping back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. 5 more breaths. You should feel a nice stretch down the back of your legs and in your shoulders. Gazing towards the front of your mat, hopping your feet to your hands. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center, and we're going to move into our Surya Namaskar B, or Sun Salutation B. So starting by grazing your hands to the floor, coming up to chair pose, knees over toes, folding down, Uttanasana. Inhale, your spine long. Exhale to fold and jump back, chaturanga. Inhaling, up dog. And exhaling, downward dog. you're going to inhale your right leg up between your hands. Your left foot should be turned out at a 45-degree angle, coming up into Warrior One, squaring your hips towards the front, knee bent at a 90-degree angle, and exhaling your hands back down to the mat, stepping your right foot back, coming down into Chaturanga, inhaling up dog, and exhaling downward dog. Moving on to the left side, bringing your left foot up between your hands on the inhale, right foot turned out at a 45-degree angle, inhaling to Warrior One, squaring your hips. Exhale the palms back to the ground, stepping back, coming down Chaturanga Dandasana, inhaling Urdhva Mukha Savasana, and exhale Ardha Mukha Savasana, downward dog. Keeping it here for 5 breaths. Gazing towards the front of your mat, hopping your feet to your hands. Exhale to fold, inhaling back to chair pose. Exhale to stand. We're going to repeat this. Inhaling up, chair pose. Exhale to fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, spine long. Exhale, jumping back, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward dog. Inhaling your right foot between your hands, coming up to Warrior One. Exhaling the hands back to the mat, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward dog, left side. Inhaling your left foot between your hands, Warrior One. Exhale, back down, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Holding it here for 5 breaths. Using your Ujjayi breath, feel the vibration in your vocal cords. Inhaling through your nose. Inhale to gaze at the front of your mat, hopping your feet to your hands. Exhale to fold. Inhale, Uttanasana, chair pose. Exhale to stand. And repeat. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale to fold, Uttanasana. Hopping back, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale the right foot to your hands. Coming up, Warrior One. Exhale, hands back down, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhaling the left foot forward, right foot comes to 45 degrees, Warrior One. Exhale, coming down, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Holding here for 5 breaths. Making your neck an extension of your spine, gazing towards your kneecaps, fingers spread. Gazing towards the front of your mat, inhale, hopping your feet to your hands, spine long, exhale, fold, inhale, chair pose, exhale to stand. Matching our movement to our breath, inhale, chair pose, exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, spine long. On the exhale, hopping back, Chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward dog. Inhale the right foot toward in between your hands. coming up Warrior One. Exhale, hands to the ground, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale the left leg up and between your hands, coming up Warrior One. Exhale, hands to the mat, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Inhaling, gazing towards the front of the mat, bend your knees, hopping your feet to your hands. Exhale to fold. Inhale, coming up chair pose, and exhale to stand. Inhaling, coming back, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, spine long. Exhale, hopping back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward dog. Inhaling the right foot up and between the hands, coming up to Warrior One. Exhale the hands down, stepping back, Chaturanga. Up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Left leg inhales between the hands, coming up Warrior One. Exhale, hands to the ground, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Holding here for 5 more breaths. Reaching the heels towards the ground. Using your Ujjayi breathing. Gazing to the front of your mat, hopping your feet to your hands. Folding Uttanasana. Inhale, coming up chair pose. And exhale to stand. Taking a moment here, mountain pose. Notice your breath, feel the sensations in your body, and return to your intention for the day. We're going to take a big step back with your left foot. Feet should be wide and perpendicular, coming into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior Two. Your front knee should be bent at a 90-degree angle. Your hips should be open and tucked under slightly. Arms in a T, gazing towards your front hand. Deep inhale. Exhale, we're coming into extended side angle pose. Your right hand could be on the ground inside your right foot, or your elbow resting on your knee, keeping space in the right side body, trying to make a straight line from your hand to your foot. Exhaling the hand to the ground, we're going to twist. So your left hand is on the ground inside your foot, your right arm is reaching towards the sky, and you're trying to open your chest. Imagine there's a wall behind your back and you want your shoulders to be flat against it. Shifting your weight to the outside of your left foot, we're coming into side plank. Lifting your hips, keeping your body in a straight line. And exhale, coming down, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Gazing to the front of your mat, hop your feet to your hands, Uttanasana. Inhale, coming up to stand. Exhale, hands to heart center. Coming to Warrior Two on the left side. Feet are wide, front knee bent at a 90-degree angle. Feet are perpendicular. Hips are open and tucked in slightly. Inhale. And exhale, coming into extended side angle. Again, your hand could be on the floor inside of your foot or resting on your knee, making a straight line from your hand to your foot. Inhale. Exhaling your right hand to the ground inside your left foot and bringing your left arm up to the sky. Again, imagining a wall behind your back, trying to press your shoulders against it, gazing towards your top hand. Shifting your weight to the side of your foot, coming into side plank, keeping your hips lifted, gazing towards your top hand. All four corners of the hand on the floor. Exhale, coming back to plank and down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Gazing towards the front of your mat, hopping your feet to your hands, Uttanasana. Inhale, coming up to stand, hands to heart center. Taking a big step back with your left leg, feet are perpendicular. We're going to come into Triconasana, triangle pose. Legs are straight. We're going to fall forward, keeping our spine long. Our hand can come to our shin, our ankle, or the ground. Again, imagining that wall behind your back and you are flat against it. Gazing up at your top hand. Looking down to the ground, you're going to bend your knee, placing your right hand just in front of your right foot, coming into half moon pose. Your extended leg should be flexed, arms open wide. Maybe your gaze is at the ground, maybe you have good balance and you can gaze at the hand. Coming back down gently into Warrior Two. Exhale, coming down to plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Gazing towards the front of your mat, hopping your feet to your hands. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming up to stand. Exhale, hands to heart center. Other side, taking a big step back. Coming into Triconasana, triangle pose on the other side. Reaching forward, hand comes down to the shin, ankle, foot, or ground. Trying to flatten your back and shoulders against that imaginary wall. Gazing towards your hand. Exhale to bend your knee, reaching your hand slightly in front of your foot. Coming up to half moon pose on the other side. Flexing that extended leg, right arm reaching towards the sky. Maybe your gaze can meet your hand. Coming down gently into Warrior Two. Exhaling to plank pose and chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Gazing towards the front of your mat, hopping your feet to your hands, Uttanasana. Inhale, coming up to stand. Exhale, hands to heart center. Big step back. Feet should be parallel, maybe even slightly pigeon-toed. We're coming into Prasarita Parotanasana. Hands come to your hips. Folding forward, starting at the hips and slowly bringing the rest of your body down towards the mat. Trying to reach your head to the ground. Inhale to extend your spine. And exhale, fold to find a deeper expression. So your hands should be in line with your feet, aiming to reach the crown of your head between your hands. Turning your big toes slightly in so it relieves some of the tension in your knees. Bringing your hands back to your sacrum and slowly inhale your way up to stand. Clasping your hands behind your back, kissing the shoulder blades together. We're going to fold forward once again, trying to bring your hands over your head, Should feel a nice stretch in your shoulders. Again, trying to reach your head to the ground between your feet. Bringing your hands back to your hips. Inhale, coming up. Turning to face the front of your mat. Meet your feet together. Standing in samastha. Couple deep breaths. Taking a deep breath, inhaling your arms to the sky. Exhale to fold, coming down, Uttanasana. Inhale your spine long. Exhale to fold. Trying to turn your hips inwards. Opening up the hips. Reaching your head down towards your feet. Grasping your big toes with your first two fingers and thumb. Feet should be maybe a fist width apart. Breathing into the back of your legs. Inhale, spine is long. On the exhale, we're going to put our palms underneath our feet. So your toes are at your wrists. Letting your elbows fall out to the sides. Again, reaching your head towards the ground. Taking your hands from under your feet, inhale the spine long. Exhale, inhale, coming up to stand. Hopping your feet out to the width of your mat, we're coming down into Malasana. So using your upper arms to press your knees wide. Feet should be turned slightly outwards. Hands in prayer in front of your chest, spine long. Now we're going to open up your right hand to the ground, still pressing your upper arm into your knee. Left hand comes up, gazing towards that left hand. And if you can, feel free to take a bind, wrapping your left arm behind you, your right arm around your leg to meet your hand. Exhale to release, coming back to center. Inhale, onto the other side. Left hand to the ground, right arm to the sky, gazing up. Take the bind if that's available to you. Trying to keep your weight evenly on both feet. And release, coming back to center. Exhale to find yourself seated on your mat, coming into Dandasana or staff pose. Your legs should be together, straight out in front of you. Feet are flexed. Spine is long, arms reaching up towards the sky. Begin to bend at the hips, folding forwards, keeping your spine long, and then round, bringing your forehead to the knees or between the shins. Trying to reach your head towards your feet, keeping your spine long. Your hands can wrap around your feet or they can rest on your shins, whatever is available to you. Breathing here. We're going to inhale, coming back up, extending your arms long, then placing your hands on either side of your hip. Deep breath, preparing for our boat pose. You're going to bend your knees, lean back slightly, picking up your heels off the ground, knees bent at 90-degree angles. Your feet are flexed, and your hands are outstretched on either side of your legs. Engaging your core, keeping that spine long. Exhale to rest. Big inhale. We're going to come into our second round. 5 breaths here. If you want to straighten your legs this time, feel free for a slightly more intense pose. exhaling, coming down to rest. We have one more round. Taking a big inhale, coming back into our boat pose. Again, your legs can be extended or they can be bent. This time we're going to slowly lower our legs and our torso towards the ground. So with control, breathing your heels towards the ground, keeping your shoulders and heels lifted, and release. Maybe shaking out your legs here. Preparing ourselves for Uttana Padasana, fish pose. You're going to keep your hands and arms by your sides, lifting your chest up and tilting your head back so the crown of your head is resting on the ground. For more support, you can tuck your hands underneath your glutes and use your elbows to help support the lift in your chest. Holding it here for a few breaths. And release. Slowly bringing your knees into your chest, Apanasana. You can move your knees around to feel a release in your lower back, massaging your hips. You're going to straighten your left leg to the ground, hugging your right knee into your chest. Then straighten your right leg, clasping your hands behind your thigh, keeping that leg straight, your foot flexed, and gently pulling it towards your face. Supta Padangustasana. Trying to keep that left thigh flat against the ground. A nice stretch in your right hamstring. Breathing deeply. And release the leg back to the ground. Bringing your left knee into your chest. Straightening the leg, clasping your hands behind your thigh, and gently pulling it towards your face. That foot is flexed. Your right leg should be flat on the ground. Breathing deeply here. You can close your eyes if it feels good. And gently, we're going to release the left leg back to the ground. Bringing our right leg back up, reaching with our first two fingers around our big toe. Your arm is straight, your leg is straight, and you're gently pulling that leg towards your body. Inhale. On the exhale, we're going to release our leg to the side, trying to reach that foot to the ground. Your left leg should stay rooted on the ground. Both shoulder blades should be flat on the ground. Inhaling your right leg back up and exhale to release. Inhale, the other leg comes up, grasping your big toe with your first two fingers. Exhale, gently pull towards your body. Inhale. And exhale to open to the side. A nice stretch in the groin area. Trying to reach that right thigh to the ground. Inhale the foot back up and exhale to release. Bending both of your knees now. We're just going to let our knees fall to the right, Our gaze falls to the left, our arms are open in a T, just relaxing, letting gravity do the work. Deep breaths. Inhale the knees back up and exhale to the other side, switching your gaze to the right as your knees fall to the left. Inhale your knees back up. And finding our final resting pose, Savasana. You want to release any tension that's in your body, so moving your legs, your glutes, your shoulders to find the perfect, relaxed pose. Palms are facing up, your feet can flop open, and just begin by focusing on your breath. Maybe noticing how your body feels after our practice, and just enjoying the sensations in our body, being here now in this present moment. Returning to the breath here, coming back into our bodies. Maybe you'll begin by wiggling the toes and fingers, then your feet, your legs, your arms, just coming back to the world around us. Taking a deep inhale. Deep exhale. We're ready to close our practice. Bending your knees, raising your right arm over your head and coming onto your side, resting your head on your arm. You could stay here for a few minutes if this feels good. And using that arm to raise yourself up to a seated position. Closing your eyes, taking a deep breath, expressing gratitude towards yourself for practicing today. Thank you all for joining me. We're going to close with a final Om. Deep inhale. Namaste.